This is 5.1 redo for AP Micro. And the first question asks you to compare factor market and the resource and the product market. So a factor market analyzes the payments made when using the factors of production, like businesses paying individuals to make the product. And because they have to pay the individuals to make them do the work, that would be labor. And this is different than a product market because in a product market, individuals directly pay businesses to get the product they want. The second question asks about derived demand. Derived demand states that the demand of the resource is dependent on the demand of the product. For example, if the popularity of pencil rises, which is the product, that would also mean that the resource wood would rise because you need a lot of wood to make pencils. The fourth question, because there's no third question, asks what factors will shift the supply of labor. Some factors that will shift the supply of labor would be education and training, availability, immigration, cultural expectations, working conditions, and preferences for leisure. An example of education and training would be, let's say that to be a doctor, you need to study a lot and read a lot of books. However, not many people would want to commit that much action. And because the education requirement is high for being a doctor, this will lower the supply for doctors. Another example would be immigration. Let's say that in a certain country, there's a war going on, so they all immigrate to like Germany. And because all those immigrants that just immigrated need to find a job, the workers for Germany, which is supply, rises. This question also asks why supply equals marginal resource cost. Supply, which is resources or workers, equals marginal resource cost because resource, in this case, is the workers. And the cost of each resource would mean wages. Therefore, the market wage would have to equal the cost of each supply. This question asks the shifters of demand for labor. Some shifters of demand are price of the output, productivity of the worker, and change in price of other resources. For example, let's say that the popularity of laptops rises. Therefore, the price of the laptop goes up. This means that because the laptops are more popular, we need more workers making the laptops, which would mean that the demand for labor would rise. Another example would be changes in price of other resources. Let's say that to make a laptop, you need this certain machine. However, the cost of this certain machine has risen lately. Because you don't want to spend more money, you hire individuals, which would mean that the demand for labor has risen. This question also asks why demand is equal to MRP, which is marginal revenue product. A higher demand would mean that more product is sold. And because marginal revenue product is the price of each product being sold, these would have to be equal. Number 6 asks to explain the Unit 5 profit maximizing rule. For Unit 5, the marginal revenue product would have to equal marginal revenue cost. These two would have to be equal because the marginal revenue product, which is the profit after, which is the money you're getting after each product being sold, and marginal resource cost, which is the cost for creating one item, they would have to equal because if one of them is higher than the other, that would equal either losses.